let's get into Ahsoka. So let's start with episode 6. Let's give it a score. So I'll let you go first and talk about what you thought of Ahsoka episode 6, Far, Far Away.
So Ahsoka episode 6 is going to be my first 10 out of freaking 10 of the season.
Wow.
I
Nice.
loved this episode. Everything about it. It was amazing. And ironically, it was the one with Ahsoka barely in it.
Yeah, true.
But man, I love this episode. Everything about it. Again, and I can't talk about it unless spoilers,
Yeah,
so
we'll get
I'll
into
wait
spoilers.
to talk about it later. But yeah, 10 out of 10 for me. What about you?
See, I'm like, I kind of want to go at like a 9.5 because I also love this episode a lot. And I've been going back and forth on whether to give it a 9 or a 10. I still haven't fully made up my mind. I think I'm going to give it a 9 just because it didn't have like one singular like wow moment. It was just all over a really good episode, really interesting. So I think I'll give it a 9.
Okay. I'm very curious. Okay, because
But that it's
I
tough though
think
because
this is.
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, last week, it had, of course, the Clone Wars flashbacks, all
Yep.
that, which is all great, especially if you're a Clone Wars fan, and that's something we've been looking for forever. But as
Yeah.
far as like just a straight, full start to finish episode, man, like the mystery of the new planet and surprise, like I don't know. I'll talk about it when we get to the spoilers.
Yeah, I still
I'm
kind of want to
hesitant
give
to
it a
say
10,
anything.
but so I don't know. I might
Maybe I
flip
can
flop a
flip
couple
your
times.
scores.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe by the end I'll give it a 10. But yeah, should we give 7 a score too now then, and then just talk about both of them? Spoilers.
Sure. Yeah, we could use. Yeah,
Okay, so what would you
you
give?
can start with.
Okay, so
You can start
for
with 7.
episode 7, I thought it was a really solid episode. But I don't think I'll give it as high of marks as the other ones. I think I'm leaning towards an 8 on this one. It was a solid episode, a lot of fun, very entertaining. Um, there was just a little bit more I wanted, but we'll talk about what that is when we get into the episode. So I'm gonna give it an 8.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, episode 7. Yeah, I would give it 8 too. I think it's amazing. I just don't think it's as amazing as the last 4. It's as simple as
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Um, Hence for the 8. I think it's better in the first couple episodes, maybe even third episode. But yeah, the last 4 episodes, man. Oof. But
Yeah,
still a great episode,
for sure.
and I loved seeing. We'll wait to spoilers, but
Yeah,
okay,
let's
cool. Now I want to get to spoilers.
yeah, let's get into spoilers. So if you haven't watched episode 6 or 7, click away now.
Okay. All right. So episode 7. The reason I gave it a 10 out of 10 is, man, dude, just from start to finish,
So you're talking about episode
the
6, right? 10 out of 10?
sorry, 6.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
apologies. For episode 6, 10 out of 10. Just the beginning with Ahsoka and Huyang, just with the whales, and him saying the line, in a galaxy far, far
Yeah,
away.
that was pretty cool.
And I thought it was gonna. I didn't think we were gonna get right into it, but man,
Yeah, we
they go
did.
to that planet, and it didn't even like it. It felt like Star Wars, but it felt like so many other things,
Yeah.
like Prometheus or like Alien. It just felt
I
so
got
cool, them
heavy
flying
Lord of the
over.
Rings vibes from the planet. I don't know if you did
Yes,
too, but
that's funny you said that, because in the next episode, for sure, I got Lord of the Rings vibe. Just
yeah,
riding around with those animal. What are those animal things called?
the Howlers.
Uh, yeah, the Howlers. But anyways, back to episode 6. Just from the start, and then them getting off, and the eerie music, and seeing the
Dude,
witches,
the
and
music in this one, in 6, Thrawn's music was
oh
so
yes,
good.
oh exactly. And then don't get me started with that scene with Thrawn coming right. It shows Hera, or not Hera, excuse me. It shows Sabine, trying to use the Force again, and of course, they
Yeah.
fake out.
Yep.
It's the Rumble.
It's the
And God, you
Chimera,
see,
dude. The
yeah, you see
Chimera
the
looks
Chimera.
so cool.
That shot, oh my God, that shot was amazing. Like of it kind of coming up, and oh my God.
Yeah, it
And then
was so
Thrawn
good.
coming, and the night troopers, and Thrawn in general, I thought was excellent. And then God, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay,
Yeah,
just everything about it, man.
I think the reason I didn't give it a 10 was I didn't really want to give 10s back to back, but the reason I would give it a
Yeah,
10 is Thrawn. Thrawn was so good. Like, I'm so glad they brought back the voice actor. It makes sense for
yeah, that's
the time
awesome.
he's been away. He looks a little older, but just like the voice, the cool, calm, collected, the like calculating, he has all of that down. And he has the coolest
Mhm.
opening line in a TV show where he comes up and just says, "What once was a dream has become a frightening reality for those who may oppose us." And the way he delivers it is just like so Thrawn. I loved that.
It is.
With the
He's a different type
music.
of villain
Yeah, for sure.
because people, everyone's used to like Vader and the big scary bad guys, but this guy, he's not necessarily physically intimidating, even though
Yep.
he's huge.
Yep.
It's more tactical, more which to me is even more scary. Like
Yeah,
he's
for sure.
smarter than anybody. But I
Yeah.
agree. Well, and so the other half to this episode that I found very interesting is again Balin and Shin.
Yeah.
Just every dialogue Balin has, I just love. And there's one line I wrote down. He said, because Shin asked, like, do you miss the order? He
Yep.
said he misses the idea of the order.
That was a really
And
cool line.
I love, yeah, I love that line. And Shin, even Shin kind of, she wasn't just like grimacing, like, oh, I'm going to kill you. She
Yeah.
actually, like, when you started talking about the Jedi Temple and stuff, she actually sounded like curious, like a kid almost, like she never was told the story yet. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just a very interesting dynamic.
It is.
Uh, and then of course this the howlers out there called.
Yeah. The like dog like horse things
Uh,
that
yeah,
they
the
ride.
dog. Yeah, those
Yep.
I love those
Yeah,
things,
those
dude.
things
They
are
look
cool.
cute. They're funny.
That was a
The
pretty
little
funny
rock thing.
interaction
Do you
where
know what those are?
the naughty,
Yeah,
those
the,
little
yeah,
hermit
the naughty.
crabs.
Which is isn't that kind of like a funny name, like the naughty, like
Naughty or Nodi
naughty. They're
maybe.
like peaceful people.
Yeah, true.
Naughty, naughty.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were cute, and of course the ending. With you know uh, Ezra.
Yeah, Ezra,
So
like he sounds like Ezra. I was kind of surprised by that, but like I was like, is that the same actor? He it was weird. But I knew it
and
wasn't,
like
but it was like,
you
man,
get
he
much in that
does.
episode.
Yeah, he only talked a little bit, but
Yeah,
like the intonation of his voice just it seemed like it was the same
yeah.
person, which is cool.
And he still kind of had like the jokey, right, playful.
Yeah,
But
he
yeah,
definitely did. And even
I don't know, man.
more so in
Just
the next one. Yeah.
yeah, more so in the next one. But yeah, man, just from the start, the 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 special effects, the
Seeing
music,
Peridia,
dialogue.
like they did
Yeah,
a world in another galaxy. They definitely made it feel like eerie. You don't know what's there. Very like atmospheric.
yeah.
It was very cool.
Yeah, I loved everything about it, and like I was talking to my dad, and what I loved about this episode is it felt very Star Warsy, but so new at the same time. Like they
Yeah,
combined that sense of like what is going to happen. This is so
wonder.
interesting, but it still felt like what you love. Like
Yeah,
oh, dude, it blended the two perfect, and I loved it. Now, what
yeah.
about you? I mean,
I also loved it. I'm actually gonna give this one a 10. I'm gonna go back on it. The only part of the episode that I thought was kind of slow was Sabine on her own, like fighting the bandits. I didn't think that fight was especially interesting, but I mean, it still kind of needed to happen to set up the next one. And her like interaction with the Howler and getting it to trust her and stuff was fun too. But
Mhm.
other than that, I love this episode. One thing that I'm really interested in is the night troopers. They
Mhm.
look really messed up. I'm wondering, and I've seen some speculation of this, if like they're like dead troopers who have been brought back by the Night Sisters or something, because their armor looks like they've been through a lot, and like some of them probably could have died and maybe been brought back.
That's what I was wondering. Are they dead or are they
Scavenged
just
armor or something.
yeah.
Yeah, it could be either. And Enoch looked really cool. I loved his helmet. The main
Mhm.
guy, the main night trooper.
Yeah. Which Enoch, the actor who plays him,
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. The guy from that show that I never finished.
uh
The
the
Expanse.
Expanse, which you need to freaking finish
Yeah, I
for
know. I
the
that's one
rain
I'll go.
show.
That's one I'll go back and
Uh,
finish.
what did you think of because Balin said, like, do you hear like he Balin's like, what do you say? Do you hear this? Like there's something there.
Yeah.
Like what's going on with that? And they kind of even hinted more towards that even the next episode, but
Yep.
there's something bigger here, right?
Okay, so I have two theories of what it could be. Um, and I'm curious if you've heard any of these. One is a character from the extended universe called Abeloth, the goddess of
I've
chaos.
heard I've heard of her.
And it really seems like they're setting her up because it's something like nefarious that's like eating away at this planet. So she's like the mother,
Hmm.
like, you know how there was the father, the son, and the daughter? She was like the
Yeah.
mother, but then she like tried to get more force powers from both the dark and light and went crazy. And in the EU, they like banished her to a place called the Maw. Um, but they very easily could change that too. They banished her to another galaxy. Um,
Yeah.
so that's possible. The second one, that temple that Thrawn and the Night Sisters are in have a bunch of Zepho writing, which is like Force users that we saw in the Cal Kestis games. And I think
Oh.
there's like a Sith version of them called maybe like the Dark Zepho or something. So maybe it has something to do with like the original Sith or like the early Zepho who went to the dark side or
Mm.
something. So that could also
Mhm.
be um, a possibility
Huh.
of what it is. But I'm kind of leaning towards Abeloth and her being like the next big bad in some saga coming up.
Yeah, interesting. I'm going to be very curious to see how that plays out because,
Yeah,
well, I guess we need to talk about episode 7, I guess.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
anything else on episode 6 that you wanted to
Um,
bring up?
let's see. Also, what cargo do you think they're loading into the Chimera? That was another thing I was curious about what you thought.
I don't I don't know. At first, I thought it was like tombs of some sort
Yeah,
that like the witches are going to bring back, or
yep. That's
uh,
kind of what I was
I don't know
thinking.
what else it could be.
I think it's going to be like Night Sisters who are dead that they're going to like bring to the original galaxy and like revive and bring
Ooh, that would
back
be
like the
interesting.
Night Sisters, which would be cool.
That would be kind of cool. Yeah,
That
because
it
that's
definitely
what.
looks like sarcophagus sized things.
Yeah, well, and that would make sense why the witches are like so loyal to Thrawn.
Yeah, it also seems like they really want to get off that planet because of whatever
Yeah,
Balin's looking for.
yeah, yeah. I don't know what else it could be. I mean, we don't know a lot about the planet, so
Yeah.
um, okay, yeah. So at episode 7,
Yes, Dreams and Madness, which is a great episode. Both episode titles are so cool. Far Away and Dreams and Madness.
I know I thought of
Especially,
Balin when I heard the Dreams of Madness.
yeah, and whatever he's looking for probably has something to do with that
uh,
madness and dreams, I guess. His dreams.
yeah. Uh, I'll let you start with this one. Your
Um,
detailed.
so let's see. The start, it was with the New Republic, who's still pretty stupid, mostly because of Xiono. I freaking hate Xiono. um, but it was cool seeing C3PO show up and on behalf of Leia and bail her out.
Mhm.
And when Xiono said that thing about like we can't let a droid give us evidence and Chopper freaked out, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was funny. I loved that.
um, but yeah, that was like a little bit of a slower start, but I mean, I guess we kind of had to have that to wrap up that part of like because they set that up. So I thought that was a
Could have been
cool
a whole
way.
episode.
Yeah, no, I'm so glad it was. I was a little worried when that was the
I thought it
thumbnail
was.
and the description. I'm like,
I know.
oh no, but no, it
No,
wasn't.
it's not the whole thing. Not the whole episode.
uh, but yeah,
Okay.
that was a fine opening. I loved watching Ahsoka train with Anakin's recording. I want to see all 20 of
Wow.
those recordings. I don't know about you,
I did too. When you said that, I was like, "Oh, can we see them all?"
yeah. Uh, and with her training, I thought it was really interesting that she was training with her two lightsabers, both held like backwards. She was training the dual wielding style of like I'm pretty sure it was Form 5, the same one that Anakin uses, or a slight variation of it. And then jumping ahead a little bit, when she fought Balin, she was training that way because she decided to fight Balin that way, and it worked pretty well having the two lightsabers to kind of stop some of his power and like
Yeah.
the I don't know. I love what they're doing with the lightsabers and how you can tell the different forms. So it was cool to see her practicing that form and then using it.
Yeah, no, I agree because she obviously needed to change something up,
Yep.
So
And then after that, the minefield. That was a cool scene. The poor Purgle though. I felt bad for those space whales.
I know, I
Uh,
know. It did look cool when she was flying out of the mouth.
yeah, that was really cool with all the explosions and
Uh,
those were a cool couple scenes where she's flying through the ring and dodging everything and
mhm.
then going down to the planet. That was just like fun
Yeah.
action.
Hmm.
And while that was happening, Thrawn learning that Ahsoka is Anakin's apprentice, that like he didn't react very much, but I kind of got the feeling like he was pretty surprised by that.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
he
go ahead.
he knows that Anakin's Darth Vader, correct?
Yeah, he's one of the few people that
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. Yeah. So how does Balin know?
That's a good question. I don't know. I wonder if we'll learn more about that. I almost wonder if because he talks about the Jedi Temple and it burning like he was there. So I wonder if he saw.
Maybe, or he saw the footage of it, or
Yeah, yeah.
like Obi-Wan did. Yeah.
But
Okay.
when Thrawn realizes or learns that she's Anakin's apprentice, he asks a really interesting question that I don't really know why he asks. He asks, "Are you sure there's only one starship?" And I wonder. I have a theory of
He
why
did
he
ask
asks
that.
that,
Yeah.
but do you like what do you think about that question?
I don't know. I wondered that too because I was like, why just because he said that after he learned that,
Yeah.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of threw me off too. But then I kind of just it slid through my mind. I do not know why he asked that. What's your theory?
So my theory, and it's kind of reflected in a few things he says. I think he's learned like the Force can do anything and to be open to anything because like the two times he's really lost has been like because of the Bendu in Rebels and then because of Ezra using the Force to like talk to the whales and send them away. And he says like Jedi like Jedi and Night Sisters tend to keep coming back from the dead. So I almost wonder if he thought maybe Anakin could be alive or something. Like cuz and he's like not
Oh,
underestimating the Force anymore and he's trying to think of every possible scenario, which makes Thrawn even more scary because
yeah, the
he's learned
fact
from
he's
his mistakes.
the fact he's not underestimating the Jedi or the Force now.
Yeah.
I mean, plus he sees the Night Sisters, right?
Yep.
So it's like there's anything freaking possible.
Yep.
That's a good catch though. I don't know. That's interesting. I wonder if
Yeah.
that'll be explored on, or if it was kind of a throwaway line.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That'll be I wonder how they would explain that after the fact. But um
Maybe just when he's talking to Ahsoka, like I have
yeah.
maybe. thought you would so and so.
Yeah, that could be. And then it goes to Ezra and Sabine talking, and I thought Ezra again just seemed like Ezra. He did a really good job of being kind of goofy and like aloof, and especially like when Sabine says that Ahsoka took her on as her apprentice. He's like, really? Why?
That was hilarious.
And I'm like, yeah, that's
I
Ezra.
feel like, and I felt like he's saying what everyone probably thought that that's
Yeah.
all the characters. Like,
Yeah.
that's funny. Yeah, I really enjoyed that too.
Yep. And we got a Zeb name drop, but I don't think he's going to be in the show, unfortunately.
I swear, man. I swear. I swear.
He's
You have
not going
all
to
the
be.
rebel characters.
He's
Well, then
not.
guess what? I will be. I promise you, if Zeb is not in the next episode, I will drop it half a point just because of that. Even if it's a freaking 10 out of 10.
I guarantee you. I've given up. I don't think he shows up.
It's so dumb. I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is like a rebel sequel, and like someone like my dad doesn't realize like Zeb is one of the main characters too, and he's like he doesn't even know who Zeb is.
Besides that tiny little scene in The
Yeah.
Mandalorian, yeah.
Well, even then he didn't know that was Zeb.
Right, right.
We did because we watched shows. But
What I heard is
anyway.
they put him in The Mandalorian because they were working on him to be in the Rogue Squadron movie, I think. Or not movie, show. Was that going to be a show? But I guess that's not going to happen now. Or one of those ones about like pilots, but then like that got scrapped. So I don't know.
No, now he's just scrapped forever.
Yep.
I swear that made me mad. But we got the name drop. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I found it. I wasn't expecting this, but Balin parting ways with Shin. That was definitely interesting. It kind of caught me off guard.
I wasn't expecting that either at all.
Yeah, but it kind of makes sense. Like Shin seemed pretty skeptical of what he was looking for, and so I guess he just knows that it's not going to be right for her, or it'll corrupt her, maybe even.
Yeah.
But his parting lesson for her was a good line. Impatience for victory will guarantee defeat. That was a...
Balin just has those banger lines, doesn't he?
I read a comment that made me laugh was, if this was an episode of the Clone Wars, that would have been the line at the beginning of the episode. You know how they always have the quotes. That was a good Clone Wars quote.
Oh, that's funny.
Let's see, and then they fight the Raiders. Ezra not taking his lightsaber was pretty funny, but then using the Force was pretty cool. Especially being able to hold off Shin without a lightsaber. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
And then Ahsoka shows up. Her fight with Balin was kind of short, but I kind of liked it because it kind of shows her growth, like knowing that she doesn't have to win. She just has to find a way to like get away from her and get back to Sabine, because like Huyang said, they're stronger together. So I think that, and like I said before, the lightsaber, the new light, going back to her old lightsaber form to fight him was nice to see.
Definitely not as good as the first fight.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was meant to be. I agree.
Yep. And that's kind of why I had this at like an 8 out of 10 instead of a 9 or a 10, is like, we've seen this before done like more in depth, like that fight, Shin versus Sabine, now this with Ezra, and like the fight with the Raiders. It's all really fun to watch, entertaining, but it's not like blow you away, any like super new something.
Yeah,
like
I 100% agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
And then Ezra saying the Force is my ally, that's all I need, and then proceeds to steal a blaster and use it. I thought it was pretty funny. And his line about taking us prisoners, that's very Ezra. He loves being taken prisoner and then finding a way out.
I gotta say, man, the guy who played Ezra, he might be the perfect freaking casting.
I know, I know. I feel like we've said that a lot, but I think I agree the
I
most with
know,
Ezra.
like, it was Hera for me too.
Yeah,
But man, after seeing Ezra, like, can we just be thankful that they didn't make him an angry hermit
yeah.
like
I know.
every other hidden
He's still
Jedi?
himself. Yep.
God, I was so happy.
Yeah, me
And
too.
honestly, him not accepting his lightsaber back makes total sense.
Yeah,
I saw some
he
people
hasn't
mad about that.
practiced. Yeah, I don't get why people are mad about that. He hasn't practiced with a lightsaber in 10 years, but he's probably been like attuning with the Force for 10 years.
Yeah, I love the whole like Force karate type
Yeah,
thing. That was cool.
the Force monk.
And yeah, the Force smoke. Like yeah, dude, like it isn't the don't the crystals, don't they kyber crystals, don't they bond with the user?
Yeah, or you like attune to
Realistically,
them.
so realistically, it would be better for Sabine to use it anyways, right? If you're trying to go deep into the lore.
Yeah, I don't know if Sabine's that good with a lightsaber though, so I don't know. Ezra, 10 years of Rusty 10 years might still be better than Sabine at this point.
Yeah,
But he could still
you're
hold his
right.
own without it though, so and he was probably worried about her having to deal with Shin.
Maybe it was a respect thing too, right? Like I gave that to you,
Yeah,
like
he
Star
did say
Wars
that.
just on
That's
me,
true.
like. But yeah, I wasn't mad about it. I liked it because come on, I have trust in Dave Filoni. Everyone wants to see him with the lightsaber. We will
Yep.
have that moment,
Yeah.
and it will be an epic moment. I would rather them save that moment for some epic moment than to fight those raiders,
That's true. Yeah.
But because I trust Dave Filoni, we'll see. Right? Do you agree? We'll see him with the
Yeah.
lightsaber.
Yeah, maybe even in this last episode, but definitely we will see him with a lightsaber again
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, I think we will in this last episode too.
Yeah. I hope so.
Dave Filoni knows how to work the crowd, man.
I wonder how long this last episode is going to be because I have a lot of questions that I want some answers to.
And isn't it great? Like, oh my lord, it's amazing that we have so much mystery and excitement.
Yeah.
And like
Yep.
Balen, we haven't even got started with Balen. Like, where the heck is he going? It's so
Yeah.
interesting, man.
Yep. How did he?
I'm getting
I want to know
excited
how
just
he
talking.
survived the purge. What he's been doing. Like where he sees
Yeah,
himself in the Force. He's like this new. He wants to break the chain of the what's been going on and what he's trying.
and why?
How he's trying to accomplish that. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, what does he hears or feels or knows something? Like, why is it him? I don't. It's just so interesting. There's something more to it, obviously.
Yep.
And I was hoping they would show us a little tease at the end of the episode, but they didn't.
Nope. They did not.
I was like, oh, you
I definitely scrubbed through
punks.
the credits. Like, is there a post credit scene or something? I
I
want
know.
more.
Please. I don't want to wait a week.
uh,
Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? Oh, the
yeah.
other line.
So
I,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
I was just gonna say the last thing was like Ahsoka showing up and just beating Shin without even turning on her lightsabers.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Shin just gets like abandoned by Balin, abandoned by Thrawn, just left there, and she's like, what do I do? And just runs away.
I like the way Shin's character is going because I truly thought she was going to turn even more evil, and kill her master. But I think it's going in the opposite direction.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. There's something.
I'm pleasantly surprised.
She's a really interesting character, and I hope she survives and shows up elsewhere because that'll be interesting.
With her talk with Balin, she's never really been able to see the other side, right? Like Balin's training her to be better
Yeah,
and to be a Boken Jedi. Like I don't know. There's something more about her she's almost like a little kid, right? Like just hearing his stories about the Jedi Temple, she was
yep,
intrigued, and
very
I
intrigued
don't
by
know.
him.
Yeah, she's very interesting. They all are, and that's what I was going to say about this episode. This episode had so many key players in this episode. Like you had Ahsoka, you had Ezra, you
Yep,
had Sabine, you have Shin, you have Balin, you have Thrawn. like all these characters, and you have Hera back with the New Republic, and
Hu Yang.
holy man,
I
and
love Hu
Hugh Yang.
Yang.
There's so many. I know when Ahsoka jumped off the ship, he cracked me up. He's like, "Not again,
Yeah.
not this again."
And then he
Dude, I
sees
was
them all
laughing.
together. Like his line of like, oh, I hope I survive long enough to
Okay,
see what goes on with that.
we
Uh,
better not kill him in the next episode.
oh, they better not. I love
But,
them.
but yeah, I just love that there's so many interesting characters. It's not one or two or three. It's
Yeah,
a
even
Star Wars show where you love so many characters.
even like Morgan Elsbeth is interesting, being a Night Sister and
Mhm.
trying to like rebuild the Night Sisters. Yeah, all the characters have
Yeah,
been really good.
like because like I said, Andor I freaking love, but it's very like singular story based on
And political and yeah,
yeah,
a lot
and then
smaller scale it feels like.
yeah, which is fine. It's great,
Yeah,
and like
I love that.
Mandalorian,
Love that show.
obviously everyone loves Mandalorian, or
Yep.
at least the first seasons. But again, there was not a ton of like main characters. But with this show, I love every single one of them. Like I don't want any of them to die.
Yeah, I know.
I want to keep learning about them.
Yep.
Like if someone like even if I don't know what they're gonna do with Balin,
I don't
I'm very
know.
curious.
I
If
I don't know how I feel because like with the actor passing away, if he doesn't die in the last episode, what are they gonna do? Recast him? Like
I
how do
know
you live up to that? He just has such a commanding presence. That'll be a tough recast. But then
it will.
if he dies, it's like, oh, that's such a great character. Like, yeah.
I know. They what they could end up doing is maybe he does die, but they could easily have like a Tales of the Jedi or something in like animation,
Yeah. And learn
like
more
about
about
his
him.
past or something.
Yeah, that's
They could
true.
still do stuff with him, but it still sucks because if they did keep him alive and he was supposed to have a huge
Yeah.
plot line in the next season, if there is one, and the movie they're doing, that sucks.
Yeah, that really sucks.
So I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Filoni will
Man,
figure it out. I trust in Filoni. He needs to just take over all of Star
I do.
Wars.
God, please, like this is so interesting. And again, I was talking to my dad again, and I like talking to him about these because he is, like I said before, he's so critical on the new Star Wars.
Yeah.
And he's never seen Clone Wars, the
He
shows.
should
He's
watch
never
Clone
seen
Wars.
Rebels. He has started
Okay, good.
because of the show.
Okay, good, good,
And
good.
but even he has said, this is an old head, right? Like someone who grew up with the original trilogy. He This is the best Star Wars since the prequels. He said over
Yeah.
Mandalorian, over anything. He said this is the most Star Wars has felt Star Wars. He actually said that if you were to watch all six movies and not the ninth movie, but say after you're done with Return of the Jedi, this should be what you watch right afterwards. This should be the
Yeah.
sequel to that, not counting the cartoons.
I kind of agree. Yeah, it's
Because
so good.
he's,
Yeah,
he's like
this
Thrawn is.
Thrawn is so good. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying because he would like what he was telling me is like, yeah, like if the Empire fell, it would be in ruins. You'd have you know generals and stuff trying to take advantage of it. You'd have chaos in the galaxy. He's like,
Hmm.
this is what it would be. Not like the stupid sequels. It would be like this. It would
Yeah.
have like someone like Thrawn would try to take over, and then even like the little things like um why can't I think of his name from Mandalorian? Uh, the bad
Grogu?
guy,
Oh,
Moff Gideon.
Gideon, yeah.
You have like which they name dropped in the show.
Yep,
That
true.
I like that. Uh, you just have chaos, right? People trying to rule.
Yeah,
Thrawn,
you
Gideon,
definitely
this,
would.
that. And then, like with this show, you got the flashbacks with Clone Wars. You got the Rebels characters. You got a new galaxy, a new story. Like this is Star Wars, man. Oh, God, I love it.
Yep, this is definitely my favorite Star Wars show, like live action show. I love The
Well,
Mandalorian, but this just feels like different. Like it's setting up
yeah,
something bigger. It's ushering
yeah, and I
in
love
the next phase, and it just it's so good.
I love the Mandalorian too. I'll always have a soft spot for that because that was we had the sequels, trash,
Yeah.
and then we had Mandalorian, right? Like,
Yep.
oh wait, like it could still kind of be good. But
Yeah.
again,
Gave us hope.
yeah. But again, I agree with you with Ahsoka. Love Mandalorian. I freaking loved Andor. But this to me is the bread and freaking butter of Star Wars, and I love it.
Yep.
One other question I had is so the timeline of this. So I think it would be cool, and I don't think they're gonna do this if they did make it back to our galaxy. But what if they didn't make it back until after the sequels happened? So they
Huh.
come back. That's why Thrawn or nothing is mentioned because it never happened. They're gone for that. So what if the show's next season or the movie is actually after the sequels, where Thrawn's come in and the First
Interesting.
Order's gone. Ray's out there.
I wonder how that would work. Like, could like intergalactic hyperspace travel, like almost like a interstellar, take longer than? But I don't know because
Mhm.
they're still doing stuff with Hera. It would be interesting for sure, and could set up some really cool stuff that like could get rid of the sequels
I,
in a way.
but that would make sense too because it would get rid of the sequels without getting rid of it. Like you could just pretty
Yeah.
much ignore it if you wanted
Or
to.
at least not be held back by the sequels, because I think that's what kind
Yeah,
of what you're getting at is like there's definitely some stuff that has to happen that like doesn't necessarily feel like it would fit with the sequels. Like, where is Thrawn? Why didn't anybody say anything about him? So that would be
yeah.
interesting. I don't think they'll do that, but maybe. I guess it's
Well,
possible. I
and
didn't think about that.
it would be it would be interesting too because you get back like Hera would still be alive, hopefully. Uh,
Yeah.
and what about Jason? You could make Jason older. Ezra comes back, trains him.
Yeah.
They find out Luke is dead, so they
Oh,
go and
I want
they.
I want justice for Luke. I
I,
want them to
I
get
do
back
too,
and for it to change the
man.
timeline, so that never happened.
I do too, but that definitely won't
That
happen. They
definitely
put
won't
way too
happen.
much time and money in those movies. But I think that would be a decent compromise, right? Like
Yeah,
you bring these characters back after the sequels, and you can, for the most part, ignore it. I mean, you might have Ray show up and stuff, but it's like, okay, cool. You either know her or you don't.
yeah, true.
Uh,
That would be interesting.
Jason could be older. I don't know. I think that I'm actually kind of hoping they do that. I think that would please everybody as best as you can. The people who like sequels, and very few people still would have the sequels, and the people that don't like it, like us, could be like, okay, you know what? At least we're getting Star Wars back
Yeah,
after that. I don't know.
yeah,
That was
true.
just a kind of a thought, like what you kind of thought. Is this next episode? Are they going to get back to the galaxy, or are they stuck here? How do
Yeah,
you think the is going to end? The final episode. I
I
guess we
don't,
could. Well, what's your thoughts on the final episode? How do you think it's going to go down?
I don't know. I want. I feel like Ron is definitely gonna leave. I feel like that's what it's building up to is him finishing loading the stuff and leaving. I don't know if how is Ahsoka and them gonna get back though without the space whales? Would they could maybe sneak on board or um but I just want to
What
learn
about what Balin finds?
the thing that I want to learn is what Balin finds. That's what I'm most interested in. He
What if
feels
that's how they
something
get back?
big. That's possible, maybe.
And it's
Yeah,
like,
honestly, if it's like Abeloth or something, they could even do that time distortion thing, like not even make it with hyperspace. It's just like she sends them back in the future or something like uh, that'll be I wonder if that'll tie into how they get back. That's a good question.
or what
But
about the world between worlds?
uh, yeah, I don't know if that'll be it could maybe be tied with what Balin finds because like if it is Abeloth, the the father, the son, and the daughter all are kind of tied with the world between worlds, so that could be intertwined with it. I could definitely see that. Huh. I don't know.
So
I feel
because
like they could go multiple ways, and I'm not sure which way they will go.
the thing is, so do you think Thrawn would? I don't think he cares whether they die or they're just left behind.
Yeah,
So do you
I
really
agree.
think he would give them a chance to hop on, sneak back on?
I don't think Thrawn would. They either have to sneak back on without him even knowing, which doesn't really sound like Thrawn, or like maybe
Mhm.
Morgan Elsbeth does something stupid and takes him prisoner without Thrawn knowing. But I don't know. It might be something more to do with what Balin's looking at as to how they get back. Unless they can call
Because
for the space
Thrawn,
whales. But I don't think that's really going to
yeah,
happen.
they'd have to leave and go, or they're stuck. Where they're stuck, and like we see more a little more of this galaxy. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't
Thrawn gonna
know.
kill Balin?
I think something's going to happen with Balin with whatever he's hearing.
Because
I,
Thrawn wasn't happy about that.
yeah, he was not. It could be. But Balin definitely has to find what he's looking for.
Yeah, we'll definitely find out. We better find out
Yeah,
whatever
we
that
better.
is. Are we going to see Hera in the New Republic at all?
I don't know what else they would do unless, like, it's something about them finding out that Thrawn did actually return or something. So possibly,
Or
but
it's
I have a
or it's like
feeling
the
no.
very end of the episode and
Yeah,
Thrawn like destroys those ships or
yeah.
something. Okay.
I wonder how
Yeah,
long the next episode is going to be. Do we know the runtime of episode 8?
uh I don't know. Let's see. We'll look it up. Uh it's 8 episodes, right?
Yeah. I
It is
don't
going to
I don't think we
be
know.
yeah, wait there.
Yeah. We'll probably find out closer. I want it to be like an hour and a half movie.
Dude, I hope it's at least over an hour.
Yeah,
This,
me
this
too.
is crazy because each time I watch this episode, like I'll check like it how much like I'm like, oh, I've only watched 15 minutes. Yes, I still have 30 more minutes.
Yeah, I did the same
Like
thing.
this is and I don't do that a lot with shows. Like normally I'm looking to see how much time is left because like I'm over the episode or something, or I'm like, okay, this episode's kind of dragging. But with this
Yeah,
show, I want it to be longer, man. I could
I
sit for
know.
3 hours episodes.
I know, me too.
But yeah, no, I can't wait.
Oh, I'm so excited for the
1 more week.
finale. I'm excited but sad that it's going to be over.
I know I'm sad too because I'm like, oh, like
But it's setting
that's
up more.
next.
There's going to be a lot of stuff with this, it feels like.
Yeah, hopefully this is a start to their reign of Dave Filoni.
Yes, agreed.
So, oh, and last thing, Zeb better be in it.
He
And
won't.
I, I have faith, man. I have faith in Dave Filoni, dude. I have faith.
I just don't see
And
it.
well, admit it. And then Ezra, I do hope he gets a lightsaber or uses,
Yeah.
you know, whether
Well,
it's to save Sabine or something.
in the Starfighter, the Ahsoka put away her lightsabers, and there was like it looked like a lot of lightsabers. They may have just been training ones, but I don't know. She may have a spare for him or
Yeah,
something. That would be a cool way for him to
maybe, yeah.
go.
Or maybe what happened? Does it ever explain what happened to her old lightsabers?
Um,
Do you remember? I don't remember if it did.
I don't
If they did.
remember. Yeah, I don't remember. Well, in the book, she doesn't have them.
Well, there's one of them that Vader's holding, actually.
Yeah, I think she loses them here when she fights off the clones.
Yeah. I don't know. All I know is I do hope Ezra. I mean, how cool would it be? When's the last time we've seen? Correct me if I'm wrong. When is the last time we've seen three Jedi fight together? Did we see that at all in the
I
sequel trilogy? We never saw three at the
no,
same time.
no, not in the sequels. No. Yeah, I
Think
mean,
about it.
basically the
Three
prequels.
Jedi fighting.
I think
Yeah,
was the
right.
last
Because
time. that horrible fight against
Live action.
Sidious is 4-on-1 and they just get destroyed instantly. That might be the last time we saw it.
That's right. But yeah, right. Wouldn't it be cool, like if we saw
Yeah.
Ezra, Ahsoka, and Sabine, like with freaking lightsabers fighting Shin and Balin, or maybe whatever Balin has,
Yeah,
like
maybe
whatever
they
he finds.
feel like whatever Balin feels and they go check it out and find him and try and stop him or something. That
Yeah,
would be cool.
we'll see, man. I mean, oh, I can't wait.
Yep,
But
me too.
yeah, sweet.
Good episodes. Very good episodes.